Welcome to the bold analysis. It is very ironical that the president is roaring in the Western wing, telling the country how the united opposition cannot defeat him. But a clear look back into how they are lobbying for Kalonzo Musyoka to join the Kenya Kwanza will just show you that what is happening in Western is just reverse psychology. But in real sense, the desperation for Kalonzo Musyoka to join the government is telling you that all is not well. And in this podcast, I'm going to demonstrate to you why, after the death of Raila Odinga and Uhuru Kenyatta moved to endorse Matiangi, William Ruto and his team are begging Kalonzo Musyoka to join the government. Before I get much into those details, I still want to say thank you very much for supporting this podcast. We are in the final phase of finishing our project to build a permanent house for Bildad in Migori. For better part of this week, and we are actually today, I was really feeling that by the time we get to fast, we will be done. And for those who are hearing for the first time, for better part of this week, we've been supporting Bildad, who is a single father of 4, who got involved in an accident and broke his spinal cord and was crippled. But the wife got remarried somewhere, and she was now forced to take care of the children alone. And that is why the video that I've been showing you here of him working, doing some manual jobs in the community to provide for the children. That video really warmed our hearts. But when I sent my team, we found out that he was in real need of a house. And for better part of this, we know that we've had challenges of weather, but we've been there to build a house for him, and also build another one for the children. So that watoto walale peke yao, na yeye pia alale peke yake. Has the 4 children, the 3 boys and the 1 girl. So we are building the 2 houses at the same time.
Tangu nipate ajali siwezi fanya kazi yoyote. Niko chini, hapa ndio nyumba yangu, niko na watoto 4 hapa. Sasa naomba tu kama mnaweza kunisaidia nipate nyumba mzuri. Juu hii nyumba yangu hata iko karibu kuanguka. Na hapa ndio nimelala na watoto. Haki naomba tu kwa unyenyekevu na moyo wa Mungu munisaidie haki. Niko chini, siwezi na sina chochote.
And at this moment, this is where that house has reached. Today we're doing Linton. We really hope that by next week, by Sunday, because of course uko ni SDA, so they don't work on Saturday, but Sunday they will resume, and Monday they will be done by the roofing and all that. So what I've been lobbying and still requesting you to support us is just to do the windows, the doors, and the finishing part, because we really wanted to do a beautiful house for him, a comfortable house, so that we even do the tiles. I know hizo zingine hatujaiweka, but hii kwa sababu na hiyo hali yake iko, nataka pia tumwekee tiles kwa floor, and that to just do a decent house, so that hata hiyo nyumba ya hawa watoto should also be very decent. So kindly support us. I think we are running a small deficit of around 45,000, and that is what we will do by the end of the day tomorrow, so that as we start the new month, tumalize kama tushamalize. And thank you very much. Thank you very much, guys, for responding. I think I've called you, apart from political analysis, we normally say that we come through for the community. This is what sets us apart. And I'm glad that even those who reach out say, Kevin, let's continue doing this. This is what we cannot sit and complain beyond everything. In this video clip from the Western Kenya, the president is hard telling the masses, the Molembe nation, that the opposition is very small thing to him, and looking around because Raila Odinga is not there, he's really telling the masses how he's going to win the next general election.
Kisirani na hasira na wale watu ambao sijui ni muundo gani, waambie watu wa Kakamega County wasikuje hapa tu pere nini, watuambie mpango yao ni gani. Barabara ndio hii tunajenga, stima tuko na mpango, masomo tuko na mpango, matibabu tuko na mpango. Yao ni mpango ni gani? One time kasongo nini? Hiyo itabadilisha dunia hii kweli? Sio, ni ujinga. Sasa hawa jamaa, mimi nataka niwaambie, hawa jamaa wa ukabila na kisirani na hasira, ati hawana mpango, hawana sera, hawana taratibu, hawana agenda, hata akili hawana. Sasa niwaulize, mtu hana akili anaweza kupanga mambo ya barabara? Mtu hana agenda anaweza kupanga matibabu? Sijui kama tunaelewana bwana. Na hawa watu, mimi nataka niwaambie, my friends, nyinyi majamaa wa ukabila, nyinyi majamaa wa mambo ya sijui nini, mambo ya kisirani, nyinyi jamaa watu wa chuki, mimi nawaambia mambo bado. Mambo bado. Wacha kwanza tupange mambo ya barabara, tupange mambo ya matibabu, tuunganishe stima, tusomeshe watoto wetu, tupange ajira hawa jamaa. Alafu tutakutana na nyinyi 2027. Ama namna gani? Tuko pamoja? Mimi nataka niwaulize nyinyi watu wa hapa Malava. Yaani mkiniona mimi hivi, ati wale watu tunashindana na watu ni wale? Yaani mtu ningeshingana na yeye ni Raila Odinga. Lakini sasa hawa nitawamalizia asubuhi na mapema. Very early in the morning. Wamepotea.
But I would also want to ask, if the next election is very smooth and easy for a presidential candidate at the moment, then why are we spending resources campaigning, of course appearing clothed as development projects, but we are on a campaign trail? Why are we on a campaign trail if we believe this early, if we believe the next general election is going to be a smooth ride? It is not true that the next election is a free ride for president. But this is a manipulative language that is used probably to portray yourself as the strongest candidate in that election. It's not that it's the strongest candidate. And the people, those are the things that probably the people want to hear. And contrary to that, or as that happens in Western, I want to show you that it is accompanied by a propaganda video, AI-generated propaganda video of a cabinet reshuffle that I will want you to look at here.
Good evening. Tonight, we begin with a major shake-up in the cabinet, one that's already sending ripples through the political establishment. The National Assembly has confirmed that vetting is now underway for 4 new cabinet secretaries. The nominees include John Methu, tipped to take over the powerful agriculture docket, Gideon Moi slated for ICT, Naisula Lasuda, and Edwin Sifuna, the ODM Secretary General, reportedly headed to a critical service ministry. 4 names in, 4 out. Among them, Mutahi Kagwe, Deborah Barasa, Rebecca Miano, and Eric Morethi. And with this, a fresh round of by-elections looms. The IEBC has already gazetted vacancies in the Senate and National Assembly, with particular focus on Nyandarua, where Methu's move opens up a crucial Senate seat.
I need to tell you guys, that video is fake. But where do you think it has been produced? It has been produced and it is targeting individuals. Methu, who is a DCP ally, You can see Jemathia, that is the women rep from Baringo, a Kanu politician, Kanu politician. You can see Sifuna, also on target, who is one of, where do you think the person that generated that video targeted the names of politicians that are vocal against the government? Because I need to tell you that not all these videos, not all of us can fact check. A section of Kamba MPs led by the author, is not the author, the person who was used to lead together the impeachment, Mwengi Mutuse, are leading public appeals begging Kalonzo Musyoka to join the government. And they're saying apparently by him working with President Ruto in 2027, that is the only way for him to become president in 2032.
I can offer to be his negotiator. I can talk to President William Ruto, and I can also talk to Kalonzo, because I wish every good to him. Kalonzo Musyoka, I will tell you, from wherever you are, number one, you have to be brave. You have to lead from the front. You have to make decisions that may appear unpopular, but in years to come, people say this was the right thing to do. And one of the decisions that you must make today, you were not the presidential candidate in 2022. The presidential candidate in 2022 was the late Right Honorable Raila Odinga. The presidential candidate you campaigned for was in an arrangement with the current president. You were not even the deputy president in that arrangement. You were merely one of the supporters of that arrangement. If Raila had won, and this question is important for Kenyans to know, if Raila had won, the highest that Kalonzo Musyoka would have become would have been a cabinet secretary. Maybe a decorated one to be called a prime cabinet secretary. But you know, Kenyans know a prime cabinet secretary is just it's just a decorated cabinet secretary. And so that opportunity is there. You must at times think about the people you lead, not yourself. And so Kalonzo Musyoka, you have to be brave, you have to lead from the front, and you have to make decisions that may appear unpopular at the time, but decisions that are going to be popular when people realize what it is that you were doing. And one of the decisions that you must make now is for purposes of the progress, for purposes of the benefit to the people who support you. There is every need to work with the government of the day. There is every need to have a structured engagement with President William Ruto so that our people can be part of the progress to the future. And if you dream about being a president of this country, look at it. You are being asked, and you have said rightly, by the current deputy president, please come and work with us. And then you don't want to work with a sitting president, you are following somebody who is impeached. Your sense of judgment must be very poor. Seriously. If you are being asked and you are given the opportunity to work with a sitting president, a president who has following in almost all parts of the country except one or two, and then you choose to follow somebody who is impeached, then your sense of judgment must be very poor.
And I'll show you that there are things that have triggered, two things that have triggered the demand for Kalonzo. Even though I know that for quite some time, the Kenya Kwanza team have been pursuing Kalonzo Musyoka. The whole Oka Kenya team, it's only Kalonzo who is not on the side of the government. Oka was Gideon Moi, Kalonzo Musyoka, Mudavadi, and Wetangula. Gideon Moi, Mudavadi, and Wetangula are already in the same camp, they're on that other side. Kalonzo is the only one who is remaining this side. So, and I know he's been sought. The two things that really triggers his clamor for Kalonzo, number one, is the Raila death, and number two is the move by Uhuru Kenyatta to endorse Matiangi to join the presidential race. And just to describe to you, demonstrate to you how Kalonzo is a target, another AI-generated propaganda video has emerged that he has decided to deputize Rigathi Gachagua.
Tonight, Citizen can now confirm that Kalonzo Musyoka has entered into formal conversation to take up the position of running mate for Rigathi Gachagua in the 2027 presidential election. According to a document seen by Citizen, Wiper Party leader Kalonzo has held multiple private meetings with senior representatives of Gachagua's camp since returning from his visit to London. Kalonzo's UK trip, initially described as a 10-day visit, was cut short after the death of former Prime Minister Raila Odinga, but insiders say the meetings around the Gachagua alliance had already begun while he was abroad. Meanwhile, the looming question this evening is the role of former President Kenyatta. Multiple reports confirm a silent war between Kenyatta and Gachagua that is beginning to fracture the so-called People's Loyal Opposition.
The people that are producing this video, just like the other one, are having an objective. And it is the objective of portraying Rigathi as someone who is going to play second fiddle in that opposition. They want the country to think and feel that in that opposition, Kalonzo cannot be the candidate. I know this one, I don't agree with many people here. But truth, if you ask me, Kalonzo Musyoka must be in that ticket. I doubt whether he can be a deputy, but he must be on that ticket. Anything short of that, Kalonzo will either go it alone or will give William Ruto a smooth second term. Smooth. So, let me show you why this clamor happened. And I told you, number one, I'll demonstrate to you why it was Raila. But look at Uhuru Kenyatta move to endorse Matiangi, number one, as the deputy party leader of the Jubilee party, and number two, as the presidential candidate and representative of the Jubilee. And he okayed, he gave Matiangi okay to go and negotiate with the united opposition. And at this moment, that what politically that means this messaging that Matthew and Sifuna was going to, it was fake. I wonder, I even doubt whether people who are sharp like Sifuna cannot fail to see that if one day I was to become a politician, this one I can say. Na mimi nimechagumiwa MP, governor, senator, MCA who, I cannot leave an elective role for an unappointed role. I cannot. I cannot make that blunder. And by the way, 2 years to the general election, the demand for cabinet is reducing with time. Instead of preparing for the next general election, why would you leave that to go and seek a cabinet slot? What do you want to do? Ama ni jina tu kubwa. And Parliament has also flagged that as fake. So that video was just, I'm telling you bana, watu tu squeeze sasa, watu tu wanatafuta tu venye atatafuta bonga points na wengine. So that video officially was flagged as fake. I want to read for you the statement by Uhuru Kenyatta, the press statement from the Jubilee Party that actually explained that Matiangi was going to represent them and of course was given green light to negotiate with Rigathi Gachagua. I want to read you because there is something I want us to get from that letter. This one is here. According to the NEC, accordingly, the NEC has nominated Dr. Matiangi to represent the Jubilee Party at the United Opposition Movement as he continues to popularize his candidature and champion a message of progressive leadership, integrity, and national unity. Engagement with the opposition, they continue to say, the Jubilee Party will officially communicate to the leadership of the United Opposition regarding the nomination of Dr. Fred Matiangi as the official representative within the movement. The party reiterates its full commitment to the principles and objectives of the United Opposition, working collectively with the like-minded political formations to build a strong, united, people-centered alternative for Kenya. What do you think this move by former President Uhuru Kenyatta is sending jitters on the side of government? And that's why they're looking for Kalonzo. Number one, the smoke, the red smoke, the white smoke on Matiangi Kalonzo or Kalonzo Matiangi ticket, it is coming. It is coming. Now, Uhuru Kenyatta is influential, and he will have influence even beyond. As things stand now, with Uhuru endorsing him, it did not sit well. And I was shocked. Really, to be honest, I was shocked when I saw Terence Creative, a young person who I believe should look at political discourse in a different perspective, was the one who was trolling Matiangi with a tribal lens. This was bad. Look at this post. Assume huyo Mkisi amechukua kiti 2027. Sasa nipangie hiyo cabinet. Why do you say Mkisi? And he was trolled the whole night and he had to pull down this post. Even though nilikuwa nime screenshot because before I delete. Ali delete post. And let me tell you, the irony of it all is that a clique of bloggers who are trolling Matiangi after Matiangi was endorsed by the Jubilee Party were actually aligned to Jeremiah Kioni. And that is why my advisory would be to revamp that party and to make that opposition be solid and speak one voice. Uhuru Kenyatta has given Matiangi nod to engage collectively with the united opposition. Now, from now moving forward, the Jeremiah Kioni must call his bloggers, the bloggers of his bloggers, who normally take time and their only responsibility is to troll Rigathi Gachagua. That is the face. And yes, I normally say, look at Ngunjiri Wambugu. Aki, that man, the former Nyeri Town Member of Parliament. You know, sometimes being politicians, Aki, that man. Hey. I think he does almost like 10 posts per day. And he cannot have a Facebook post without attacking Gachagua. Mpaka nijuze, Gachagua alimfanyia nini? Sijui, kuna kwanga na chuki lakini hiyo yake, So that must happen. There were others. There was another one that was, I also saw, and I'll show you. They must then, if Jubilee is supporting united opposition, then we should not see Jeremiah Kioni appearing to attack Gachagua. And on that sense, Rigathi Matiangi should be given his dream team in that party, including the Secretary General. Because in this podcast, I've always said, I doubt the commitment of Jeremiah Kioni in the opposition bench. I highly doubt whether he belongs there. Later in the evening, there was this meeting. This is meeting of Rigathi, Kalonzo, Natembeya, and Karanja Kibisho. It happened in Kalonzo residence. After this meeting, this was after that Matiangi endorsement, and I want you to know that Matiangi worked in interior docket, and who was his PS, Karanja Kibesho. So can you connect the dots? If there is someone who we understand that he could be going for some governor seat in Kirinyaga or senator, I don't know. I'm yet to confirm that. And that meeting had everything to do with the Matiangi linkage there. You know, with Matiangi there, he worked with Karanja Kibisho. Kadhe Rongo, and I told you that it is some people some bloggers from the Gamer side that are being used to attack the opposition wing. Descended on Karanja Kibisho. Karanja Kibisho was my lecturer at Jomo Kenyatta University of Agriculture and Technology. Good, brilliant teacher, but extremely poor political leader. He contributed 100% to the political mishaps in both TNA and Jubilee between 2012 and 2022. He strategically midwifed the birth of Tugeges in Mount Kenya. He also promoted transputed positions. Currently, he's trying those old tactics, but on a completely woke electorate will reject. This is after that meeting. So, and the country can brace yourself. Never rule it out. I am firm. There's another meeting I want to tie up with all this Matiangi candidate within Jubilee and all that, is Mama Ngina meeting Mama Ida. And it was not Mama Ngina. If you check this photo, Mama Ngina and the larger Kenyatta family, except Uhuru Kenyatta is the only person who was not there, were in Bondo to condole with Mama Ida and Odinga family. This meeting strategically shows you that there is a strong bond between Kenyatta family and Odinga family. Now, that bond will be very critical as far as the political direction of the party, the direction the political party takes. This is why I'm telling you that people are not very, very, very comfortable with Kalonzo, with Uhuru Kenyatta. And because Kalonzo is the only person they can now easily probably target, you know, they don't need everyone. They need some few people here and there. So that's why they're marking Kalonzo for that. But why do you think President would want to have Kalonzo on his side? This podcast is supposed to show you that hiyo kitu unasikia huko Western eti sasa mimi nitashinda that next general election, it's a manipulative language. Kwa ground mambo ni tofauti. And I've been telling you this, when you talk to 10 people who subscribed to Raila ideology, people who are with Raila between 2013 to 2022, when you talk to 10 and you ask them option between Ruto and Kalonzo, they can pick Kalonzo. They can pick Kalonzo. Look at if you look at those people in opposition, Martha Karua was Raila's running mate. So there are quite a number of Raila constituency that can warm up for Kalonzo Musyoka. And because William Ruto knows that Kalonzo can divide that vote in the middle, is going for him. In fact, there is another analysis. Another argument. I think I agree with it. Someone was saying that, you see, ODM influence in Nairobi and Mombasa will go down if William Ruto, if Kalonzo Musyoka is in the opposition. It will go down, sana. Yeah, it will go down if Kalonzo Musyoka is in the opposition. Someone was saying that, and I totally agree. And this is part of what I'm saying. He's going to eat into that constituency. Even this city. I think even Nairobi here, Babu is already endorsing him. Ruto is looking for a solid vote. You know, there is that tribal block that people look for. So also, Kalonzo hata akiamka leo, hata asipofanya campaign, hiyo kura yake iko. That vote is normally solid. The other person who had a solid vote is Raila. At least a guaranteed vote that he can convert. Out of his almost 6 million votes he got in 2022, if he was to endorse you, he can convert some 2-3 million. But no, because Raila is not there, the other person with a solid vote is Mount Kenya, on both Rigathi and Uhuru axis, and Ukambani on Kalonzo. And that is why I can tell you that hata Rigathi atatafutwa. Uhuru fabric is strong, and it is what is holding that opposition together. And to disorganize that opposition, someone has targeted Kalonzo. Lastly, I think there is a lot of optics needed for broad-based. You know, I've gotten Gideon Moi, so I need to get Kalonzo Musyoka. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Let's meet in the next, and the next analysis is going to be hot on the president's mission in Mlembeland. Thank you.